And yes, we are live.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Ogunshala. I'm the founder of Brainy High Schools in the beautiful city of Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, Nigeria. I've been in the TIP inner circle for 4 good years now, but this year, 2025, interestingly, I requested to move back to level 1 because you see, it's not about how much you know, it's about how much you're willing to become through what you know. And for me, going back was a bold step forward. Before I joined the inner circle, I was already, hosting parenting workshops in my school. But I got to a point where I had run out of relatable resources to guide the parenting in my school community. I literally said a prayer. Lord, please, if you really want me to help this parent in my school, send me help, send me resources that people could relate with. And boom, I stumbled on Coach Wendy's parenting books. I must say that was the beginning of a beautiful transformation. And this transformation isn't just for the school community, it is for me as a parent. From time to time, we get our teachers to read and review Coach Wendy's books. And many parents from our school community are now members of the inner circle. Let me tell you, the impact of this is massive in our school community, trust me. From the book reviews by the teachers to our parents joining the inner circle, it's a lot easier for teachers and parents to work together. So we now have what we call shared relationships. We have shared values. We have parenting partnerships that work. It's no longer parents versus teachers. It's a beautiful relationship that exists. It's the teachers knowing the right discipline, to engage the children or the learners with. So let me tell you something. I have 3 degrees in early childhood education, from B.Ed to PhD, but I must say, even with my child psychology knowledge, parenting is not easy. Parenting is not theory. It's practice. It's daily responsibilities. It's emotional connection, emotional intelligence, emotional presence. It's showing up for your kids, making the right decisions even when you don't feel like it. And this is what Inner Circle has taught me. Inner Circle holds me accountable. It brings me back to what really matters, the home. There's a story that I'll never forget. There was an assignment we did in the inner circle, and we were asked to create these family values and family mission statement. My husband and I sat down and we redefined what should be our core values, and we got our kids to understand it. So one of them was decency in dressing. One day we were running out late. We're going for an event actually, and I hurriedly threw a dress at my girl. And she looked at me and said, "Mommy, I can't wear this." Then I said, "Why? Why not? Come on, we're late. Come on, wear it." And she said, "No, it's not decent. You taught us that. Decency is part of our family values." You see what I did? I froze, honestly. And you know what? I apologized. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have done that. But TIB taught me to do that. The parents can actually apologize to their kids when they are wrong. And Inner Circle reminds me to be intentional about my actions and inactions. And let's be honest, you cannot parent alone. Love is not enough. Passion is not enough. Prayers are not even enough if you are not willing to learn how to apply the wisdom. So, a lot of us, we prepare for our careers, we prepare for our weddings, our businesses, but who prepares us, for the most important job, raising the children? Think about it. So in case you're still, thinking of joining the TIP Inner Circle, I want to welcome you. It's a journey that you will never regret. It's the inner circle where you feel like you never knew anything about parenting, because there's just a lot to learn and a lot to do, but it's going to be good for you and your kids and their future. Trust me. So I'll be looking out for you in 2026, maybe level 1, and I can as well go to level 2, but see you in 2026. Remember, parenting is about you. Bye.
And yes, you are live. You're live with me. And yes, it is 10 things to discover about your child before they turn 10. My name is Wendy Ologe, and I'm called Africa's #1 parent coach. I am particularly excited today to be here in this session because it is one of those sessions you love to love. Do you know that before 10, the blueprint of how your child thinks, how they love, how they lead is already forming? And that's what we're talking about, 10 things to discover about your child before 10. And even if your child is above 10, it is good you are in this class so that you can understand what should have been. If you're here, you can see me, you can hear me. Let me see your comment right in the comment section, and let me see you in the comment section. Let me see you stay. You're here, you're here. And if you have not invited someone today, do that now. You will be needing it. You need to call your clan, you need to call everybody to be here. Thank you again and again. I want to be sure that my network is all put together. I can see that my network is a little bit here and there. So I'm going to change my network. Just give me a few minutes and then I will return here.
Hi everyone, good morning, good morning. I'm so excited to share my testimony about my parenting journey in Intentional Parents Academy. I am Catherine Irene. I am in cohort 1Q of the Intentional Parents Academy. Yes, I'm a Yada. I'm so excited this morning because TIP has really blessed me. TIP has really given me an opportunity to parent with intentionality. I have 4 children, one of whom has cerebral palsy. What TIP did, the teaching, the coaching really changed my whole system. Before now, I thought I was doing well as a parent, and I began to wonder, those parents actually need to be learned? I can't but say this, that what I've gained in this past months in the academy is something that cannot be compared to what I think about parenting. I have gained clarity, I have gained confidence. I have even turned my daughter's journey, the pain of parenting a special needs child, into purpose. Do you know what? TIP has made me connect with my children. I now see the need why I need the knowledge in order for me to raise generation shifters, to raise children that I don't need to bail out, to raise purpose-driven children. Intentional parenting has really helped me and my family. Another thing that has happened to me is I begin to see myself parenting with all clarity. I'm no longer overwhelmed. I've left that place of pity. I've left that place. This is an opportunity to tell those that are parenting children with cerebral palsy that you are not alone. You are not alone. Yes, come into the inner circle and your life will not remain the same. Thank you and God bless.
Coming to the inner circle and your life will never remain the same. Yes, I love it. Let's go. I said earlier that by age 10, your child has started writing their internal script about who they are, about how they love, about how it works, and how much power they hold in their own story. They are deciding whether mistakes mean I am bad, I can try again. They are learning whether leadership means control or to serve. They observe. Does love mean something that we must earn, or is it something that remains even when we fall short? Now, ages 0 to 10 is the most defining decade of a child's life. Now, this is the decade when their brain forms over 8% of its neural architecture, when emotional memory begins to organize, when their self-image begins to take root. Everything from how they are disciplined to how they are comforted to wiring belief systems about safety, worth, and belonging. After 10, what they are doing is that they are editing what's already been written. Before 10, you are still designing that blueprint. You're welcome here. Thank you so much for being here. It's been an amazing time. Yes, I was out of office this morning. Boom, I'm here now. It is so exciting and amazing to have every single one of you here. Have you invited someone to be here? I am particularly excited about this class. Never heard it before, never seen it before. Those are the kind of classes that we love these days, right? Yes, the month of October came with a lot of interesting stuff. And hey, we love it. And if you can hear me, you can see me. Let me see you. Raise the fire emoji right in the comment section. No, scratch that. If you're a Yada or an incoming Yada, use the fire emoji. If you're not, just use any other ordinary emoji anywhere you can find. Don't be angry. Now, you know what? When we begin to look at self-image, right? I said that this decade is when 80% of the architecture, the foundation of learning, the emotion, the behavior, that's when the emotional learning, memory begins to organize, shaping how your child will interpret correction, connection. And that's when self-image quietly takes root. Long before a child can articulate who they are absorbing what we reflect back to them. So every tone, every boundary, every moment of comfort or correction, what you're doing is that you're wiring their belief system, you're wiring their belonging. And after 10, you are laying foundation. You are no longer laying foundation anymore. They are now editing. They are now editing. They are now editing. That's why parenting in these years is not just about behavior, it's about building identity. I ask you today, what identity of your child are you building? This is very important. What identity of your child are you building? When we focus on behavior, we're asking, how can my child be right? How can my child be, very, that's how we say it. How do we say it? Very obedient. When we focus on identity, we ask the question, who is my child becoming? And what am I teaching them to believe about themselves? They are the two different things. You are not just shaping habits, you are also shaping the inner voice they will hear for the rest of their lives. You're not just teaching obedience, you're teaching self-worth, you're teaching resilience. So before you rush to fix behavior of a child, what belief is being built in that moment? Because one day that belief will be your child's definition of who they are. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I see you. I see you, Dr. Abi. I see you, Justice Omolara Demi. I see you, Oma. I see you, Onyinye Stephen Go. Onyinye Stephen Go. I'm just popping in and out of your city that you left us in. All right. Now, when your child is now in that space where we are, working it out, and after 10, every interaction with you now adds a line to that script. That's what happens, right? Your consistency will now become their sense of stability. Your reaction will now become their definition of safety. So when you think you are just parenting, you are actually programming. So it's not just parenting, you're programming your child. You're shaping the operating system that run their adult life. Yes, there's something like that. And that operating system is how they love, how they handle power, how they recover from pain. Yes. You are not just their first teacher, you are their first mirror. You are their first editor. You are the architect of their story. They will tell themselves long after childhood ends. Now, that operating system is what is running. That's actually the real deal. That's actually the real deal. Because it's important that you begin to look at, right, all of the things that makes up a child. When people tell me about, men don't know how to handle power and all of that. The other day I wrote a post and I shared that one of the reasons we actually are struggling, with when you see a woman earning more than a man, the man feels threatened. No, the problem is not that the man is jealous, or that the man is envious. The man just feels threatened. His core is threatened. You know why? Everything the man was taught about power and provision was money. So his ego is built on something very fragile. So the fragility of that ego is in the amount of provision of money he can make. Nobody told that man that when it comes to power, there is a provision of other things that is no money. So the moment the woman makes more money, that ego is sitting on a breaking ground. It's head up. So the problem is not that the man is jealous of you. I hear people say that. It's like my husband is jealous of. No, the man is not. The man just have the wrong program. The operating system of that man is wrong. And you know what? This power label actually got formed by the age of 10, he has installed this program. The good news is you can uninstall it, but there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work to be done. Somebody said 40 minutes in, and we are all moving. So I was watching a group of men on the plane. I had a hit, a quick run out of the city yesterday, and then I came in this morning. And at the airport, I was working, looking at this man, his child, looking at the wife, and he was just teaching, talking about different things, telling the son, the way he was talking. And then the next thing I heard, don't know that I'm the man in the house. I'm like, okay, that's the installation of power. Hey, that's the installation. That was what he understands. So when I heard it, I was like, okay. I love to study the airport. I love the things that I see at the airport. I love the things that it's human behavior. So most times when I'm traveling, I just sit and I watch. Very interesting something to see. Now you need to learn how to parent from understanding, not assumption. Most parents react to behavior without decoding the story behind the behavior. A child comes to you at age 10, you will struggle if you don't understand what I'm saying this today. Parents from understanding, when you are parenting from understanding, it means that you are asking, what is this behavior about? What program is running this behavior? It's the difference between control and connection. Control is I don't care how the behavior was installed. I just do what I do. Because when you are going to raise a compliant child and a child who is actually stable, they are two different things. Most of us were raised compliant. Good news. Bad news at the same time. We're very compliant. It's being compliant, being obedient a bad thing. No. But we're raised compliant. So it means that we were blindly obedient. That's the word. And when you understand this, you don't crush your child. You don't guilt trip. Your discipline becomes a lot easier. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Awareness. There's an awareness. There's an awareness that comes on you on this journey that changes everything. Because when you decide, when you understand the decade that shapes everything, you stop parenting on autopilot. That's why when I see parents whose children are less than 10, I say, go and do serious Thanksgiving. Get yourself into the inner circle. There's no way out of it. It is learning. I was privileged to be in a program on Sunday. Most of these people who were in that program were in their 50s. Almost of their children were grown, and I was listening to them. All of the things that they said to me, in fact, at that time, I said to myself, I wish the book Parenting Reset was here with me. So Parenting Reset is one of the books, the 6-in-1, that's going to be launched on the 1st. A lot of you have actually been able to pre-order that book. But believe you me, that's one of the things that, I just wish I had the book with me. There were a lot of errors. There were a lot of, you could hear it. Most of them left that place very sober. I felt for them. Oh, I did. I did. Some of them, their last children were 20. Their first was almost 30. And some of the things that they were sharing, I was like, wow. 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 But I said something to one of them. When she came to me afterwards, she said, Ma, my last child is 22. The things you've taught here, I can see it glaringly. But if I join the inner circle, will it correct, even if it's the slightest of these things? I say, Ma, try it so that we can come back with your testimony. She was like, I've already registered. I'm going to be in the yard for next year, and I'm coming for me. I said, that's the right attitude. The right attitude. Believe you me, there are things I have seen on the job in the last decade that I can't say in public. But when we are raising our voice, screaming, like John the Baptist, remember John the Baptist, who was screaming that Christ was coming? People thought he was just joking. It's because of some of the things we have seen. some of the things we have seen. I was on a trip yesterday, and while seated in that space, I saw so much that I knew that, in fact, I said to myself, this thing, you see, this parenting that we're teaching, we'll teach it so hard. The ignorance, the level is so high. It's so high. There's a lot of errors we have made with our children from ages 1 to 10. And this is something that we need to look at. And if you have a child who is more than 10, please note, this thing I'm sharing with you now, you can still use it to rewire, right? The neuroplasticity ability of the brain is a real thing. If your child is less than 10, please run into the yard. This thing I'm sharing with you is just like a tip of the iceberg, all right? So are you ready? If you are ready, let me see you in the comment section. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let me stay you in the comment section. I came with a lot of excitement. At the same time, I am trying not to give a lot of buzz so that people who are not in the inner circle are going to breathe, so that you don't say, who is this woman, please? Inner circle parents are trying to survive her. Number one thing that you need to discover about your child before they turn 10 is how your child processes disappointment. A lot of things, right, that we talk about disappointment. That's what, you need to watch it when your child lose it, when they fail, when they get corrected. This is the window of how you will handle life knows. So your children give up, do they cry, do they blame, do they try again? That's actually, talking about emotional intelligence in real terms. Every child meets disappointment early. The game they don't win, the grade they expected but they didn't get, the correction that they felt was unfair, the sibling who got a bigger piece. But this is what a lot of parents miss. Disappointment is not the problem. It is actually a training ground for resilience. It is actually a training ground for resilience. Watch what your child does when things don't go their way. It's not a time for you to judge. It's for you to understand. Is your child crying uncontrollably? Are they blaming? Are they hiding? Are they bouncing back after a while? Each of these responses tells you a story of how they are learning to interpret no. It's a story. It's a wiring. It's a wiring. Now, children who can process disappointment without collapsing are not born that way. Watch it. Most of them were coached, not rescued. So every time you fix this feeling, you are unintentionally teaching them that discomfort is unbearable. But when you walk them through it, normalize it, help them to try again, you're teaching them emotional agility, the ability to feel, process, and recover. So last week, it's been a lot of activities for me. Don't mind me. So last week, I was on the Depoa special guests of honor for the school inter-house sports, games. And I was watching the children. I could see all of these things actually come to play. When a child is throwing a tantrum and you rush into that child, and so the child is throwing a tantrum, you say, give him tablet, let him calm down. You give him tablet. What you have taught the child is that your disappointment, you don't need to process it. Discomfort is bad. Our parents did it to us. They beat us when we cried. They taught us that disappointment is a bad thing. That's why so many of us crumble at the face of hard things. Yes, you heard me right. Something happened, you're running your life, and people say, you have grace. Some people come to me and say, the number of things you do, coach. Hey, sorry, You have anointing. You have the grace of God. You have, I understand, I don't understand that part. But Paul the Apostle states that grace actually is a function of work. And I say that grace is the function of a build-up. That's a build-up that happened. All right. I think my network is it's a little bit blurry. I don't know why I'm having to go back and forth with my network. Please give me a minute. Let me please change this network. All right, so I'm back. Thank you. So I was saying something. I was saying that what Paul would say that grace is the function of work, right? Grace is the function, there's a build up for grace. There's a build up for it. And I realized that if you don't build yourself up, those times to come and you find out that you are actually really crumbling. And you see it very early in life. I tell you a story. So our son is currently with a broken leg from football. And anytime I was talking with someone about this. I know his first year in school, just as one, he's in SS2 now. That first time he was ill. And I remember that he wrote his exams from the sick bay, in school. And until exams finished, they called us to come and pick him. But you know something? He said something to me. He said, Mom, I was not dying. I could write the exam. So when I was done, I now was able to come home. Sometimes, even in the times where your child is trying to process a pain, you're not making it easy for the child. Why? I was saying something about us being rescued. Most of us were rescued from what we thought was pain. We call it suffering. We even tell ourselves that our children will never suffer. You suffered enough. Oh yeah, who are the gang members of my child will never suffer? That's why you are going everywhere with your child. Your child cannot enter public transport on their own. Your child cannot do anything. So you don't want them to feel anything. So when things really happen, in the real sense of it, they crumble. Our parents didn't want to see us fail. Failure was prohibited. So they couldn't even watch how we process it. Unfortunately, in life, we are actually going to face these things. When we do, what eventually happens? So when a child is crying, at 2, that's where it starts. A child is crying. And you're saying, oh, child is crying and crying. Oh, I want this, I want that. So that you can stop that discomfort. You shook it with tablets. You give them cocoa melon and they are watching. I will say it over and over again. Cocoa melon is destroying the brain of your child. Hear it from me and hear it again. If you won't, argue from now till tomorrow. We will meet at the end when you are done arguing. And I'll still collect your money because it's me you will come to. Yes, it is very correct. At that time, you pay me 200K, which is, of course, going to increase next year. I don't want to die. You pay me money for 1 hour, and I still tell you the same thing. This same thing. And then I'll proffer solution for you. You need to understand that some of the things that you're doing to your children will actually make a mess. To make a mess. Disappointment, discomfort, that's what builds muscles. Your child comes last. Your child loses a game. Your child breaks into tears because they corrected them. Don't rush to suit them. It's okay to go through the process. Nobody died. Nobody died. I was saying something about our son. He wrote that exam. Now he has a broken leg. He's okay in school in crutches. He's not dying. What if he has to use crutches forever? Will he die? People that are disabled with their legs, are they dead? One thing happens to you. Oh, You lost somebody. When people tell me those things, that I just kind of smile. Is it that you do losing somebody is not a lot? It's a lot. Nobody died, but even if somebody died, right? Shebi, we're still alive. We gotta leave, man. Hey, we need to leave. Nobody died. So you must get to a point where you are. It's not comfort, though. It's not comfort where you are picking up your children. You are removing them from that discomfort. It's okay for them. Help them name what they are feeling. Oh, you're feeling disappointed. You're sad because you worked hard, but it didn't turn out how you hoped. What can you learn from it? You are coaching resilience. And that's the most important thing. Because your child will learn how to handle small losses today. And that's how they will determine how to handle bigger things tomorrow. Rejection, failure, loss of anything, delay, life detours. Sometimes life does not take us this way. It takes us this way. Would there be a lesson in that season? Most of us we actually lose the lessons of the season because we do not have this. A lot of us are actually still learning how we actually will process disappointment till now. We don't process it well. So there's a lot of struggle. Number two, how they make decisions. How they make decisions. Every decision your child makes, from choosing a snack to choosing a friend, it reveals something bigger. It reveals how they process options. Yeah. How they process impulses. Yeah. And how they process influence. 3 things. And before age 10, that decision muscle is still soft clay. It's moldable, it's shapeable, it's completely trainable. Watch your child closely. Do they act first thing? So you see a child, this child is influenced. Once he goes to school, anybody, he just chooses. Watch how they are making those choices. Watch it. Do they act fast and think later? Are they always asking, Mommy, what should I do? Daddy, what should I do? Because they fear being wrong. Or are they waiting and weighing their options and knowing their clothes? Do you know that processing option is a big deal for a child? And you know the problem? We don't train this ability for them to make decisions and process options. So I wrote in the book, Raising the Girl with Sense. And I said that decision-making process is one of the biggest lacking skills of the girls we are raising today. That's why a girl will be everything, intelligent, go to school and still marry a fulefu. Have you ever thought of it? Like a complete fulefu. Decision-making skills zero. A man will finish doing so well, go and marry an Instagram buddy. Maybe that's how people say it. No, is that what people call it? Instagram buddy. I needed to ask the Gen Zs in my office so that they can tell me. So this is very, very important. So God is telling me he's not part of them, but it's all right. But it is very, very important because we are raising children who are so dependent. Yeah. So how they are making decisions. See a lot of people make poor decisions. You're influenced by social media. Hey, you're carried away. Hey, who are your faves? Abi? That's how they say it. I even see some parents. I see you. You go, you say, I love Tom and Davido. You post, you put together. Let me say this so that you just hear it. That sample you're putting on your DP, just know that you're telling your daughter that it's okay for her to live with a man as long as she wants and marry when she wants, give birth however she wants to do it. You're projecting a level of anyhowness in your parenting, and that's what your child can see. So that when it starts replicating, you will not say, "Oh, this thing you are saying, it's not like that. It's not the thing." I don't know where my child learned it from. Learned it from you and from your examples, man. And the truth is that these are not random behaviors. How your children weigh options and own their choices are not random behaviors. They are early signs of executive functions. the brain's ability to plan, to predict outcome, and self-regulate. So if your child acts without thinking, it's not rebellion, it's an underdeveloped self-control. Let me say that again. If your child acts without thinking, they are not being rebellious. It's an underdeveloped self-control. It's a big deal. Hello, Dr. Aisha Mutala. And if your child is always waiting for your permission, it's not obedience, it's dependency. Did somebody help me write that? If your child is always waiting for your permission to do anything, oh, my children will never open the fridge except I'm around. My children will never, ever pick anything from my room except I'm around. Oh, my children will never. It's not a positive, it's a negative. It's a negative. I remember when our daughter started to cook. And what I taught her is that to cook with rice, cook jollof rice, you need granite oil and all of that. Oh, those days, she said she was cooking and she looked everywhere, there was no granite oil. She said, what happens if I use palm oil? What will happen? She brought her, she was only 8. And she used it. I wasn't there. The rice turned out okay. She bleached it, used it, and we were all okay. So if your child is always asking for your opinion, it's not my child. My children listen to everything I say. It's only me they listen to. It's an advantage. You know, it's not. They are waiting for you. They wait for you for what to cook. Your children actually wait for you for what to cook. Oh, mommy, we need to tell me what to cook. They can cook, but they cannot make decision on what it is they cook. Your 6-year-old is waiting for you to come and bring out what they will wear. My child can never wear anything except I'm there. She must ask me. Your child in university cannot go anywhere. She cannot use her brain. The difference between dependency and accountability. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. There's a huge difference between dependency and accountability. You know, when we say dependency, a lot of people actually mix it up. And when we say, is the child not supposed to be accountable? There's a difference between dependency and accountability. They are two different things. And that's one key aspect of your journey that you must pay attention to. Most of us don't pay attention to some of these things. So all we do is just, let's just, the child is listening to me. I met someone at the airport and the teamer was, with me. And then, the person just yesterday, she said, what is this organization about? We told her. And then she said, my children are not, how did she say? She said, my children are not stubborn. So we don't need intentional parenting. I almost fell on the floor. When we say this dependency, a lot of people miss it. So you think that we're saying your child should not be accountable. Dependency is the foundation of trust. It is when every child is meant to experience first. Now, a dependent child will say, that dependency is not a place of, being able to grow. Dependency is a negative in that. I can only, all I need is you. I rely on you only. Without you, I'm going to die. Accountability is what we teach on the foundation. Now, accountability says, because I know that I'm safe, I'm loved, I can take responsibility for my actions. When you try to demand accountability without first establishing that healthy foundation, you are going to raise a fearful, compliant child, not a confident one. So it is very important, very, very important that you actually begin to differentiate the two. How is your child making those choices? Right? Now, before age 10, your job is not to make every decision for your child. You need to train their brain to think. That's your job. So this is act more. What do you think will happen if sometimes you go to the hospital, you see children being spoken for 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old. Sometimes you even ask the child their name. The mother will just put it. His name is Femi. He's a very shy child. I don't understand. Sir, your child is shy. Sometimes you even say, you see father saying, he's very sleepy. He has not slept well. Hey, God, I beg you. It's not slept well. See him. should speak for himself. Good morning, sir. Be good day, Mr. Remy Adeniji. Yes, UK others are here. By the way, do you know that on Thursday I'm going to be live on the UK? Yes, I can wait. UK others, UK parents, if you are in the United Kingdom, we are going to be live in Birmingham. In Birmingham on the 25th of October. I can't wait. I saw the itinerary, the Friday itinerary with Yada. So I'm like, yeah, I love it. I love it. If you're not going to be there, you are wrong. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. Believe you me, it is something that you need. If you're going to be at the UK summit, let me see you. Say, let's put the dancing emoji. Clear road. Let's put that dancing emoji in the comment. We're coming this year to block the whole of the United Kingdom. We don't play. We don't play. I can't wait. It's the long awaited. We've had this date since last year. Long awaited UK summit. The Intentional Parents Summit United Kingdom happening this weekend. We've done US, we've done Calgary. This year has been a lot. Come on now. And now it is UK. In fact, I told someone yesterday, I said, I've had to go to Uyo City 3 times this year alone. Like, what am I looking for here? God will help us. All right. So by age 10, the foundation is set. Would they be reactors or reflectors? Would they be followers or thinkers? You can build a difference in small decision time. Let me run. We have a few minutes to go. What their self-talk sounds like. By age 10, your child has already developed an inner voice, a constant narrator that interprets every success, every failure, every emotion. That voice did not appear magically. That voice did not appear magically. Now, one of the things that happened is that it was built from the things that I've heard. It was built from the things that they know, the caregivers. It was built from the teachers, the emotions, and all of that. For those asking for the link for the UK, you can put the link in the comment. I'm sure the team will you'll see the link in the comment so that you'll be able to register. Can someone write what number 3 is? I say what their self-talk sounds like, man. What their self-talk sounds like. Now, if you tell a child when a child feels something and you say, what's wrong with you? Many times, the brain will record it as something must be wrong with me. So if they hear, you can figure it out. The inner voice learns, I can handle challenges. So the words you repeat become their long life soundtrack all the time. All the time. Pop shine kiddies. You guys should leave me, please. Children eventually internalize the tone we use with them. Your correction will become their conscience. Your encouragement will become their confidence. Your frustration become their self-doubt. That's why it's not enough to tell a child, you're amazing. I was teaching at the Girls Hub Summit over the weekend, and I said, you see all this, you're amazing, yeah, this, all those affirmations. Hey, the truth of the matter is that you can affirm your child if they mostly hear criticism. The brain will prioritize the tone over compliments. Tone teaches louder than talk. So all those compliments, all those, affirmation. Yeah, that's coming to you people in November with affirmation. Let's leave it here. So it's not just your child's word. When your child says, I can't, I'm not smart, I'm always messing it up, it's not their word. It's their inner script. You can't change self-talk by preaching. You change it by modeling. No matter what you preach, you are made of God, you are in the image of God, you are called to God, you are all those things. You can't change it by preaching. You change it by modeling. When you make a mistake and say that, oh, I got it wrong, I'm going to try again. You show them how their healthy inner voice should sound. Because long after your words fade, that self-talk remains. Some of us still hear our parents at 40 something. The other day, somebody was leaving my home, and then I said, Leshia Hanya, and I just busted into laughter. What was I saying? It was what I heard my father say all the time everybody left home. It was look well, it's my dialect for saying look well. Look, as in this guy, it's not the ordinary look well, it's the deep look well, like as you they waka, they look left and right. They look left and right. Number 4, What gives them a sense of control? Are you following? What gives them, hello, yeah? What gives them a sense of control? Every human being, child or adult, needs to feel a sense of control over their world. When children don't, they don't become obedient. They become anxious. They become withdrawn. They become reactive. Now, control for a child is not about dominance. It's about agency. I will explain. The feeling that my action can make a difference is the foundation of confidence, responsibility, and motivation. Watch your child closely. Do they melt down when things don't go their way? Sense of control. Are they constantly demanding power through defiance? Once they do something, it must go their way. Do they give up easily and say, you do it? Any of these reactive points is how secure or powerless they feel inside the environment. Now, children who have no sense of control in small things, serving food, solving little problems, they will try to grab control in wrong ways later. Through argument, through manipulation, through avoidance. They are doing compensation. Now, if your child does not have, you don't build their sense of control early, or you give them that negative sense of control, that's where you find people who are, manipulators in marriage. Yeah, that's how it grows. It's from there. So they manipulate in subtle yet dangerous ways. That's where you see all of the psychological terms come up. It's a parenting flaw, a complete parenting flaw. One of the things you want to do is to actually give structured control, what I call freedom within safe boundaries, age appropriate decisions, so that they can feel a weight of both success and consequence. The child be able to fail forward in small spaces where love still surrounds them. The world is not a bowl of potatoes. Nobody is going to excuse your child just because they are your child. We really don't care, really. The world doesn't really care. I heard a story. A particular girl, in landmark, if you miss, I think you missed 2 classes, you actually carry over the course. It doesn't matter. So this girl had gone for the first time she was missing a class. The second time she missed a class because she had menstrual pain. She couldn't go. Now, the mother said, oh, they were just wrong. They would have just pitied her. The school said that's not how it runs. The world doesn't have those pities. They just pitied her so that she will not. So now she's carrying over a course just because she was having menstrual pain and couldn't go to class. I know what they're preaching about mental. See, there's a thin line between mental health and raising children who are not resilient. Raising children who will crumble at the face of anything. This is very important. Time doesn't permit me to go into this conversation now. I'm going to just leave it. But I'm sure that you get the point. You get the point. One of the things that we told our son on crutches, we said to him, Oga, is it that you not move? He's still in the hostel with every other person. He's not going to die. He will find a way to navigate. That's part of it. One of the things that I shared when I wrote the book, Creating the Social Genius, is that if your child can't survive where they are incapacitated, you have raised a handicapped child. Did you hear me? If your child cannot survive in an environment that they are incapacitated, you have raised an incompetent handicapped child. That's not something you want to do. Not in today's world. You can't survive. You don't know how to survive. You don't know how to put things together so that you will actually be able to navigate. It's a problem. A big problem. Somebody said to me that the child is neurodivergent. So therefore, making choices are hard for the child. So she just leaves her. She cannot make choices. I said, a child, understanding who a child is not a label to destroy your child. It is access to understand how to raise the child you have. It is called parent the child you have, not the one you want to have. not the one you wish to have, not the one you pray to have, the one you have. Don't tell me that your child has ADHD, so therefore they will be badly behaved. That's a responsibility on your part. And the child has ADHD, so raise the child to be able to actually navigate. It just simply means that your work is harder. That's all. That's all. The truth. Somebody said, got to my son, he was somewhere and he was doing something and he saw him with an inhaler. I said, mentioned that he had issues anywhere with his chest or everything. He plays football, he does everything. I said, but he's not dying now. He knows how to control himself, knows how to manage himself. That's the first thing you teach a child that is handicapped or that is incapacitated or and then teach him how to get help. I don't understand. So the child is going to just become you're badly behaved because they have one life. Life has handed them over how to live. So they should not have bad behavior on top of it. So the things that we actually say is because the child has ADHD. Oh, my child is neurodivergent. We have all kinds of words. All kinds. Let's not raise badly behaved children in the name of all sorts of labels. Am I disregarding mental health? No, I'm not. I am saying that even with your child, I have a relative who has schizophrenia, who over the years, he's been able to manage it. He's a professor of mathematics. He teaches in a school and he has children. He's been managed. It's not a prerequisite for death sentence. No, it's not. The awareness is to put you in the place where you can help your child. And if that awareness also help you help the child to become function in a society, you failed that child. It's bad behavior. It's bad behavior. A child who sees somebody cannot greet, you say the child has a GAD. Come on now. Let me leave you people. All right. So it's important that by age 10, your child should understand that while they can't control everything that happens, they can control their responses. They need to actually be able to, because power is not in controlling others, it's in managing yourself. How can you manage yourself? Oh, you say, oh, my child is sanguine, he's very loud. Oh, he's very this because he's sanguine. Train the child. That's your job. Train the child. Number 5, I'm still so far. I'm just read it. If you're not in the yard, or yours is your case. Because, this is one of the things that I'm going to infuse in the class next month. How do they respond to structure? By age 10, your child's relationship with structure, with rules, with boundaries, with order. How do they react to authority? Structure is safety. It tells the child that the world is predictable and you are secure. That's what structure is about. So when there is no structure, a child's nervous system is always on alert. They don't know what to expect. They live in reaction and in rhythm, not in rhythm. And children crave consistency even when they resist it. Or they say, oh, you are too strict. But the brain is saying, thank you for the safety boundaries. Structure is what builds discipline. More than that, it builds trust. When a parent yes means yes and no means you, a child learns to trust those words, the timing, the authority. There are many times that our daughter will say, oh no, we'll say, this is how it's going to work. Do your children crumble when routines change? Do they rebel against every rule? Is the problem rebellious pattern? Or do they gradually adapt? They gradually adapt. If your home has structure, your child will learn order. That's the truth. Child will learn order. They begin to actually carry structure internally. They start to regulate themselves even when you are not watching. So how your child, if your 10-year-old grows, he's going to grow into a 25-year-old who can meet deadlines. Some of you cannot meet deadlines. You lack structure. That's the problem. Nobody taught you. You can't manage emotions. You lack structure. You can't lead teams. You're a bad leader. It's because of structure. Structure is about preparing you for freedom. That's what it is. Because only the disciplined are truly free. Did you hear me? Only the disciplined are truly free. If you're not disciplined with your routine, you're not ruthless with your life in structure, it means that you are not free. What kind of freedom can that be? freedom that can that be? So when a child experiences structure, they're not just obeying the rules. They're learning to respect other, and it becomes the bedrock of leadership and character. Number 6, what they do when no one is watching. By age 10, your child's integrity is beginning to actually be rehearsed in small moments that you don't see. When they think no one is working, what are they doing? When they show what they are truly becoming. It's not just what they've been taught. Do they tell the truth when it costs them something? If something happens, can they really come out and say, yes, I did it? Children learn what matters most to you, not just your lectures, all right, from your life. So if you model honesty, even when it's inconvenient, you'll start to see truth as strength. I grew up seeing my mom not telling a lie. So it was impossible to tell it. As in, what are you going to tell a lie for? It wasn't something something my mother struggled with, any of us. Nobody wakes up to tell a lie. It was something we saw in real practical terms. So when something happens, everybody is actually able to say, so maybe because my mom also had, a lot of this thing in place, right? So it was easy to actually say, oh, I made a mistake. So I need to actually deal with it. The truth of the matter is that your disciplinary strategy will determine how much integrity your child will have. That's where you build it. Children who grew up in home where there is accountability, it's not demanded. They just learn that doing things right, it feels right. By age 10, that feeling right becomes their emotional GPS for life. I was having a conversation with my youngest brother, and we're having a conversation with another relative. And we're like, why will you go out somewhere you're not accountable to anybody? I think you can move around anyhow you want. My brothers were like, this is a strange occurrence. Like, we've never seen such a thing like this. Training. If your child can choose right when no one is watching, you've done more than raise a good child. You have raised a person with a moral muscle. Someone who can carry integrity into relationship, into leadership, into their destiny. Because real parenting success is not what your child does in front of you. It is what they've become when you are no longer the audience. Let me say that again. Real parenting success is not what your child does in front of you. It is what they have become when you are no longer the audience. If you are the audience, right, and they are performing, you can't really tell. When you are not the audience, that's the real success. So that cable you took away and that PS5, right, you bundled up and hid it, and that tablet you hid somewhere, it's not a mark of integrity for your child. It's just control. Any day they see it, they will take it. Number 7, what lights up their soul? Every child comes with an inner spark, a natural curiosity, effortless joy that appears when they are doing what they are made for. Before age 10, you will see the spark. That spark is the loudest, the purest. By the time our children, the twins, were turning 10, we could pick the spark. Unfiltered. By age 10, I knew that my children were very extremely logical, that they had nothing to do with medical systems. In fact, by the time they were getting to, there are only about 6 people that do TD in their school. When they said it on the platform, I knew that my children were part of the truth. The remaining 4, I don't know who they are. But my children were part of the truth who will do TD. I was so sure. I didn't ask them. I didn't tell them. But I was sure they would drop biology for TD anytime, any day. You must be able to understand those parts. And then by age 10, you begin to actually help them. But the problem is that spark, sadly, is when many adults begin to dim that light. You dim it with correction. You dim it with comparison. You dim it with control. See this technical drawing for the person who's watching, it's asking me. You dim it with control. Watch your child closely. When they do their, like, what is that thing that lights up their eyes? I don't need anybody to come and tell me, oh, your child needs to study medicine, and I can't see it. What is that? But most of our children, we just say, you are smart, go to science. Mom, study medicine, study engineering. That's not how it works. You need to be able to study the child. What topics make them talk effortlessly? What activities make them lose track of time? Hmm. It's not just play, it's purpose that is there. Children reveal their divine wiring through joy. Joy is a compass. That's what points towards calling. A child who comes, alive while they are building, singing, leading, questioning, organizing, it's really showing you how they are meant to impact their world. Meanwhile, you see that you talk too much, you're always talking. The child is telling you that by talking, that's how I'm going to impact my world. But you are too angry and too, in the place of trauma that you can't recognize it. Can't recognize it. A child who can put everything in place, but you are even sometimes you're even upset, like we say in the inner circle, about your children's extra. And this is the tragedy. Now, when adults rush to fix that child's curiosity, instead of following it, they take the child to distrust their own spark. So I'm reading the book, Making It Big. Let me tell that I'm almost done with it. And it was the part where he said that his father saw that he was very entrepreneurial. And the man, he will come, cut the guest nails and pick the ledger. And then, by the time he didn't finish secondary school, he told the father, I'm going to work with you. And I said, this one is the businessman. Let's go. Let's go. But hey, you want to put your child in a box. Children reveal their divine wiring through a lot of joy. So your job is not to create the sparkle. You're not creating it. It's to protect it. You have to fan it until it becomes self-sustaining. Self-sustaining. Somebody said, I'm a doctor. My doctor has not mentioned mental for what. And I love it. Maybe for some of us who were in the medical system, I love the fact that I have no child in that lane. Forgive me, all the doctors in the house, but please, it's good as it is good. Some people are not called to it. Right? You can teach your child maths and manners. But you don't help them. You must help them discover that light, that thing that lights up their soul. They will spend their entire life performing instead of becoming. They are two different things. I'm going to talk about this a lot more in the inner circle in the coming year. If you have not registered, you need to register. There's some things that I see, that opened up on this particular subject that we need to expand on. I started to write raising raising your child with the extras, raising the child with the extras, right? And I started to actually expand. So yes, I was set up. So it's one of the books you're going to be seeing soon, raising the child with the extras. And most of the times we can't find it. Number 8, how do they manage friendship tension? Very key. All right, very key. If you can stay, I'm going to explain this for tomorrow's voice note. I'll explain it to others. Let me run. My time is up. Number 9, what do they do when no one is watching? And number 10, what makes them feel enough? So yeah, that's the rest of it. I will have a voice note, and because if I continue to talk, we're going to do it the next 1 hour on this. Okay, go. You can come at the one of the things that you want to do is that you want to understand that parenting has a lot. Parenting, it has a lot to do with what it is that you are becoming before that child. All right. Edith said the others are finally won. The others always wins. Always, 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 every time, always. All right. But please, I beg you, learn parenting. Parenting is learned. Somebody's asking, where can I get some of your books? You can get them. We have a pickup, a distributors, not a. There are distributors in Lagos. If you look at the link in the stream, you will actually be able to get into any of the admin, or you can get through the link to check out the distributors right in the stream. You have the Raising Emotionally Skilled Child, Raising the Trophy Child. These are the Raising series. Raising the Boy with Sense. All of them come with the Raising series come with workbooks, and they're available just on Amazon. Raising the Independent Thinking Child, Raising the Girl with Sense. These are the Raising series. We're having 2 more books join the Raising series. Raising the Social Genius and Raising the Lifelong Learner. All right. And of course, we have the Discipline series as well. Discipline that works. from yelling to calm. Those of us who were like me in my WhatsApp group, discipline is not an emergency. Connect to correct. If you're looking for where to start, this is a good place to start. And of course, we also have the sex educate series. One of the sex educate series is also coming in this bundle that is right on my screen. You have sex educate 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have walking your child through puberty. It's one book that you want to get for your children, and then we have the others. The parenting launch plan, how to love your child more, the parenting advantage. We're having the parenting advantage also. We're having one more join it. This is the parenting research, all right, is in that same category. Resolving sibling rivalry, solving family problems through effective communication, and your family dating, your family plan for dating and courtship. All right. So these are the books that are available. And of course, my book called When Diologue, My Message, My Methods, and My Miracles. This was my 40th. If you want to know much about the story, the transformative journey of Africa's #1 parent coach, you want this book. It's available on Amazon, and it's not available in e-copy. It's only available in hard copy. So you can get it from our distributors also. And did I tell you that our journals are now available? All these books are available on Amazon, by the way. All right, available. You can get them, hard copy. This journal is only exclusive for inner circle parents. All right, the two of them we're going to be using it next year to be able to run through the inner circle process. By the way, did I tell you that the pre-order sales is ending in 4 days? Am I correct? In 4 days. It seems that I should inform you that it's ending in 4 days. So in 4 days, you get to pay 60,000 naira for the 6 books. But believe you me, it is something that you would like to actually get. And then remember that there's fee increase for the inner circle from 130 to 150 in the next 48 hours. If you pay 10,000 naira to secure your slot now, this increase doesn't affect you. Couple slot is 210 instead of 250. If you have a slot today, it doesn't affect you. Do well to actually get in. All right, we now currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q. Right? We're on P. Okay? So, yes, we have all of this code filled up. Thousands of parents cannot be lying about the inner circle. And we also have my intentional parenting journey going on every morning. You want to actually key in at 8 o'clock WAT time to join us to learn more about my intentional parenting journey. Believe you me, this is something that you would want to, start up and join. Okay, this is very, very important for you to know more about the inner circle. It will expose you to a lot, and that is something that you need to learn. Now, finally, we will be in the UK this weekend for the TIP Summit United Kingdom. If you know someone that knows someone that knows someone who needs to be in this place, please let them know that we are live in United Kingdom by the weekend. And TIP Summit UK is going live. We're excited. I'll be there with Gov, with Kunle Ologe, founder of the Marriage Skill Academy, who is my husband. And we have Coach Ebuka, the King of Boys, who will also be coming in with us for that event. You do not want to miss being there if you are in the United Kingdom. Whether you're a new yada, you're an old yada, you're an incoming yada, or you want to come and just see what they are doing, be there. We'll be glad to have you. All right, this is where we end the class for today. Really, it's been a time. Anytime I talk about parenting, I wish that more people can actually listen and do these things. There's a lot to learn. There's too much to learn. Did I tell you that our app is almost available? We are getting there soon for you to download. Yes, you're going to be able to download the app soon. It's for inner circle parents. So we're going to have an app where you'll be able to do your assignments, submit, take your tools, see your voice notes. You're no longer going to be searching for voice notes, searching for tools, searching for these, it is just going to be there, right there on the app. And all you need to do is just key in, log in, and you see all of the details on your app. And you have your registration details, your own corner, your resources, all right? Your resources will be right on the app. Everything that you need in one spot. That would be so awesome. All right, somebody's asking about the book, and Somebody just said, our son, UK boys, get ready. Coach Ebuka is coming for you. That's a good one. All right. So yes, we are here. And who is asking a question? I can't see any question anywhere. All right. If you're asking how you can get a copy, please, the details are in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. I can't wait to see you all in the UK over the weekend. And Yadas, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Have an amazing day and watch out for the voice note. Yes, tomorrow, and all the best. Remember that all of these books are on Amazon. You can get them, pay for them, and then get them shipped wherever it is that you are. All right. See you, Bethel. See you on Friday. See you, okay, others. I can't wait to make some noise with you guys. Are you guys ready for all my plenty reels and all my plenty throwing of, peppering of others? You know, that kind of thing. We're good, yeah? See ya. Have an amazing day, everybody.
Common phrases in the inner circle. Let's go.
You're coming for an inner circle webinar and you're not with your yellow blanket with red trimmings. Is that even a joke?
Oh, I'm running and I'm not looking back because 10,000 lions are chasing me. I have watched all the webinars, but today, Coach came with a bazooka.
Even with my humility agbada, I still collected.
If you're not in the ark, you better enter now because flood na bia o.
In the inner circle, we dey walk and they show.
CIP police is coming for you. There is no need harness here.
You definitely cannot relate because you are not in the yard.
If you are not in the yard,
why not?